Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz seem to have hit on their most effective line of attack on Donald Trump in some time, and it has to do with Trump University. And it was, of course, met with a whole bunch of bullshit from Donald Trump about how amazing the experience of Trump University was and how nobody's feeling like they were conned by it or anything like that. Now, I don't want you to be deceived by these claims, and he throws out numbers that might seem persuasive, so we're going to break down every one of the lies that he's been spouting recently about Trump University so that you know what was going on and you can meet other people's ignorance with the actual facts. The first is his claim that it had an A rating from the Better Business Bureau. He said that and he just kept saying it and he tweeted it out, but it's not remotely true. The most recent rating for the program was a D- back in 2010, based on news reports from the Washington Post and the New York Times back in 2011, and the New York Daily News and the Better Business Bureau's own website in 2010. Now, they were able to find a time, a 1-year period, where it didn't have any students in which it had an A rating. And he selectively chose that year when there were no students. I don't even know how you can get the A rating when you don't have customers for your business, but they were able to at that point. But in the most recent year, during the years when it actually had students, it was rated horrendously. Claim number 2, he said to his students, to get them to sign on for this, to think that it was worth a huge amount of money. We're talking like $1,500 for a 3-day session, something like $35,000 for the Platinum program. He said, we're going to have professors and adjunct professors that are absolutely terrific people, terrific brains, successful. We're going to have the best of the best. And these are all people that are handpicked by me. Handpicked by me, Donald Trump. And, by the way, in addition, they would imply that Donald Trump himself is going to be teaching at the classes or showing up. He's in town, they would say. But, of course, he was not in town, and he did not show up. The reality about that picking the professors, the head of the university, Michael Sexton, said, none of our instructors at the live events were handpicked by Donald Trump. And in sworn statements, he said that he didn't know anything about the particular professors that were referenced to him. He didn't know anything about them at all. Another evidence that it is a con job. Now, it's not bad to have somebody set up a university and then not handpick the professors at it, but it is a con job to say, I have personally chosen them to teach the sorts of lessons that I have used my whole career to get people to go for what are just randomly picked professors that they could get at any other place. Another claim, 98% of the people that took the courses, 98% approved the courses. They thought they were terrific. He said this at the debate. It is not remotely true. Now, the truth, and this is coming out of the court case, is that while it may be true that Trump University received some positive ratings in surveys given to the students while the seminars were in session or immediately afterward, at this point, many of the students actually still believe that they will eventually get the information and mentoring they need since they've been promised a 1-year apprenticeship or 1-year mentorship. Also, these surveys are not anonymous, but have the students' names on them, and students are often reluctant to criticize the instructors and mentors who they have paid a lot of money to help them throughout the year. They weren't given these surveys because the professors of the university were genuinely interested in what their opinion was. It was a way of locking down the evidence that they were satisfied with the program, even though it was not remotely anonymous. If you were in college, you've done these sorts of things at the end of a semester, and it's anonymous that you fill those out. You don't put down your actual name before grading is done, or in this case, knowing that you have to interact with this professor that you're grading for a year afterward. And so, of course, they say it's satisfactory. When you put someone on the spot and they think their future depends on it, they will say it's satisfactory even if they haven't. And it's not until later, when students see that the help and information they need is never coming, that they realize they have been scammed. Because after all, they didn't just pay for the couple days in the class, they paid for the information and mentorship for a full year. It makes no sense to survey them on how satisfied they are 1% of the way through the program, and then say, oh, well, if they say they didn't like it afterward, then they're lying because I have a survey. Now, 2 of the people involved in the court case gave their specific reasons for why they said they were satisfied on the survey, but are now suing to get their money back. Kevin Scott said that he gave his course instructor a positive review because I did not think that the problems with the mentorship were his fault. Because after all, they're not saying they think the entire program is awesome, it's just the actual instructor himself. And it's harder to insult the actual instructor when what you mean is that the entire thing is a fraud. But Bob Guillo, another guy involved with the lawsuit, said that he gave his instructor a positive assessment because I believe that that was the only way to get my certificates of completion for the seminars that I attended. He further stated that the evaluations did not reflect my actual opinions on the courses. So as I was saying earlier, this is not hypothetical. Individuals are saying this is specifically what happened to them. They felt like if they didn't give a good evaluation of the program, that they would not get the help and the certificate of completion of the program that supposedly is going to help them in their business dealings later on. And you know that there's a bunch of BS hiding behind his bold statements about the Trump University, because his defense that he gave at the debate that happened just a couple of days ago was, oh, I already gave money back to plenty of people. Something like 1 out of 3 of the students saying that they wanted a refund. His defense is that he's already had to and has given the money back to many students. Now, it's obvious what is going on here. Like with everything else, the only product that Donald Trump has ever had is the belief that his name is associated with luxury and success. Not the reality, but the belief. And so businesses will pay him to have their name on it, regardless of whether he had anything to do with the actual building of the building itself or not. Or programs like Trump University and Trump Steaks and Trump Ties and Trump Suits will put his name on it to seem like they're an authority, like they're luxurious, like they know what they're doing. Even if it's just they're being made in China and Mexico in the case of the ties. Maybe the steaks too, I don't know. Or in the case of this real estate thing, it's the same sort of scam real estate seminars that you can find in every city in America. This one just happened to have 2 differences. 1, it had the Trump name on the front, and 2, it cost way more than anyone could otherwise justify. And the reason that this is important is because the American people, and Trump supporters in particular, need to understand that this guy is a con man. He didn't earn his billions, if he even has billions. He was handed somewhere between $40 and $100 million, which conservative estimates say that if he had simply invested that when he got it and then never touched it again, he would have at least as much money as he has now. So there goes any idea about his business acumen. And he got it by conning people, by getting them to sign on to programs like this or buy his crappy products and all of that. And he's trying to do it one more time, only in this case, he's not just selling you a steak, he's selling you on the idea that he should lead the strongest country in the history of the world. And that is a product that we cannot afford the American people to purchase at this point. And so that's all the more reason why the reality of Trump University and the lies he's been spreading about it need to be spread to the American people. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'll see you in the next one.